Namaste and hi, this is Noble Swan welcoming you all to 9 Cups of Water, a channel dedicated exclusively to wellness, mindfulness, and healing. If this sounds like your cup, be sure to stick around.
On the screen in front of you, you are presented with two symbols. Take a deep breath. Use your intuition to see which symbol you are being drawn to the most. Timestamps for each pile shall be provided in the description box. I will see you at your reading.
Pile 1, thank you for joining me. This is going to be your reading. Let's see what counsel we have from the tarot about the impressions that you give off to people. The first thing which is coming out, pile 1, is mystery. There is a sense of enigma which surrounds you. When you enter a room, you don't do anything. You don't need to put yourself out there in a flashy way, speak loudly. No. There is something about your aura which is passive, which draws people in. Okay? And the people themselves are left confused because you could be very ordinary looking, very subtle in how you dress, yet there is an element of mystique which is coming through, and people are actually left guessing that there is something that this individual knows. There is more than what meets the eye. And indeed, you could be a person, I'm getting the vibe that you could be an ambivert, but still more introverted than extroverted. And because of that, you have developed over time good observation skills. You could be really good at reading the room. I think you're also one of those people who see through people. People could be saying something to you, but your entire focus is on the energy, on the vibe that they are emitting, and it's always accurate. And people get that. People get that when you look at them, when you interact with them, you're actually going to their soul and really tapping into their core as a person. I'm also getting a feeling that because of this reason, people around you who don't really understand you may also find themselves uneasy because they know they can't hide things from you. You know you look directly into the heart of the matter. The next message that I'm getting is that you're also someone who people look at as one who is wise beyond their years. And once again, this is quite puzzling to people. Is that even possible, they think? Or what happened? What happened? So once again, there is a sense of mystery surrounding you. I believe you also try to keep things to yourself. Share it with only your intimate, near and dear ones. And because you are viewed as this really unique treasure trove of wisdom, you could also find yourself playing the role of a counselor. A lot of people could, unintentionally end up telling you their tales, their stories, and seeking advice from you. Because you have this capacity to really analyze their individual stories deeply and give them a piece of advice which you know will work for them. I'm also perceiving that others really view you in a high regard as some form of royalty. You could be really pretty. You could have had a cloistered upbringing. You could be a fabulous artist. But basically, someone who is out of the ordinary league is what I'm getting. And people also view you as an ethereal being. Okay, once again, that theme. Someone who is present with us in a human form, someone who is in this world but not quite of it. There is a sense of otherworldliness that is coming. And I also have a feeling that you have a very unique sense of humor which is only individual to you. I feel you are a master or masterful at grappling with really profound stuff in life, intense topics in life, but you do that because you have mastery. You're able to do that in a very childlike manner. It's play for you. You're also coming across as someone who is, just embedded so strongly in the universe and the flow of the cosmos that, come what may, people always perceive you as someone who knows exactly what needs to be done in that moment, who knows exactly what needs to be said, how one needs to conduct oneself in that moment. So you are very deeply intertwined with the rhythm of the universe, with the rhythm of the cosmic cycles. The High Priestess for you. You could be a Pisces, you could be Cancer. Your sun sign, your moon sign, or your ascendant could be Pisces or Cancer. People also perceive you as someone who is very calm. You could give off a very peaceful, tranquil, serene and calm vibration. Once again, because there is something extraordinary in you, people who interact with you instantaneously make out that there is something different in this particular individual. There is a certain depth in your soul, okay? Because you have healed your own inner self so well, your aura, your vibration cannot help but heal others as well. And you don't need to make it a very apparent counseling session, no. Even coming across you, having a conversation with you, an exchange of dialogue, or just being in your presence stirs something within others. And all good things stirs all good things. It makes them wonder, wow, this is not a busy energy. This is a very calm, clean, tranquil, deep energy. It's urging me to go into my inner sanctum as well. Others also perceive you as being a very slow-paced individual. Okay, you could be someone who has decided for yourself, maybe recently, maybe a long time ago, that the rat race just did not make any sense to you. So you could be someone who has set inner goals, inner ideals about how a good life should look like according to you. And I believe this is, you have included a lot of enhancing rituals in your daily routine. You could be someone who places a premium on slow living, mindful living, healing rituals such as yoga, such as meditation, such as being very specific about your nighttime regimen. Having ample hours of sleep could be non-negotiable to you. And once again, this is a kind of energy which is accepted. If you have a healing lifestyle in place for you, it's also accepted, because the Four of Swords is a card which depicts peace after strife. So you have already walked through a lot of heavy themes in life, okay, which has led to a lot of spiritual growth, but not bypassing the pain, the growing pains, the pains of detachment, the pains of heartbreak, the pains of betrayal. So you have been through tumultuous waters, because this card, the universe only presents to someone this lull, this slow paced life only to those who deserve it. So if you do feel that you are a slow-paced individual, and in today's modern world, if that is perceived as being eccentric, own it. Because this is the natural next step of your life. People also perceive you as someone who is not easily perturbed by what happens in the environment. Something very good could happen, something very ordinary, something really unexpected. But you always come across as someone who is rock solid in every situation. So you could also be very equanimous in your emotional expression as well, which is why people often depend on you to be their rock solid ground. I think you have developed a belief system for yourself which really protects you on all sides. A very positive, self-affirming, self-enhancing, divine loving belief system which really makes you immune to any and everything. Pile 1. People also perceive you as a really supportive person, okay? People from any and all races, all ages feel really comfortable approaching you, because A, you're very approachable, and B, almost always you will love them back, you will support them back unconditionally. I'm sensing that whenever people come to you with an idea, with a thought, you somehow expand it in the best ways possible. So there is a lot of synergistic relationship energy which is coming your way. So you as an individual could experience really harmonious relationships, or at least that is what you try to attain through your efforts, through your words, through your actions, through your feelings. This is someone who is absolutely non-judgmental, someone who offers unconditional positive regard to any individual who takes the initiative and establish contact with you. I see you welcoming everyone with open arms. You uh, pile 1 as perceived by others as someone who does not value relationships for their superficial quality, which is comfort, security, stability, etc. These are all lower level biological needs. No. You are perceived as someone who truly knows the spiritual essence of firstly establishing and then maintaining relationships. You go the entire mile. For you, once a relationship is established, it ought to be honored. And I feel people also recognize that in relationships, whether romantic, whether platonic, whether social or familial, you are someone who really feels from the heart, experiences from the heart, and as a result also chooses to give everything from the heart. The Two of Cups for you. A lot of people, pile 1, also perceive you as an old soul. Okay, an old soul in a young body. Because there's nothing childish in you. I already have mentioned that quotation, wise beyond years. So, they could really decipher the wisdom that you have, but they're unable to see your wrinkles. But nevertheless, their higher selves also give them this indication that there is something different in this person, that the soul of this person is really seasoned, I would say. It may not look like, but this is someone who's really emotionally adept in dealing with people. Once again, I will say a child, a teenager, a middle-aged person, someone from the old age, anyone could approach you, and the conversation that you have with them, it impacts each one of them positively. This is someone who is very emotionally intuitive, very emotionally aware. A lot of you could be empaths as well, or the personality type of INFJ, if that resonates with you. But this is someone who has true mastery in matters of heart, in matters of relationships, in matters of healing, when it comes to providing unconditional love, unconditional support. Once again, when it comes to the best practices for ensuring harmonious relationships, wisdom, very deep wisdom is coming through. The kind that whales possess. And whales are the biggest creatures to be found on the earth, but they dwell in the deepest depths, in the most quietest of environments. And they're also they're the oldest of creatures. They may be quiet, but they have seen more lifetimes than you. The King of Cups. Once again, you are perceived as someone whose entire cosmos could revolve around themes of family. You're also someone who is perceived as, an individual who brings a lot of life to party. And I don't mean in a very extroverted, jovial way, no. someone who adds a lot of uh, positivity, someone who adds a lot of color, a lot of character uh, to people's lives. You're also someone who has learned to value friendships, bonds of sisterhood. And within your own community, pile one, you are perceived as someone who is, a very important contributing member. You could find yourself in a women centric community, or you could be a part of an organization where there are a lot of women, because I see very deep, very happy, supportive, lifting female friendships, or even male friendships for that matter, coming to the fore. In whatever community, organization, or neighborhood you find yourself in, you are looked up as an indispensable member actually. Let's see any more messages coming from the tarot about how people perceive you. Okay. The top of the deck energy, we have the Queen of Pentacles. I will say it once again, there is something with family ties and this pile. So the Queen of Pentacles is depictive of someone who is a homebody, someone who considers the home and the hearth as their queendom, and they take great pains but great pride at the same time to ensure that the queendom is really functioning properly, is functioning smoothly, children are taken care of, elders are taken care of, there's something always cooking in the kitchen, or simply attending to matters of the kitchen, making everyday life more meaningful, more sacred. But basically trying to ensure heaven on earth for your subjects, for your family members, for whoever who you live with, forever who is dependent upon you. You could be someone who is very good with babies, with children, with animals, with birds, with plants, could have a hobby of gardening. Nurturing others could come very naturally to you. These are all very, very masterful cards. The Queen of Pentacles, the King of Cups, the High Priestess. These are very evolved energies, pile one. So no matter where you go, you leave an impression of an individual who is unanimously perceived in high regard. Beautiful. Let's see what the astrology oracle has to offer to how others perceive you. You have received Uranus. Once again, someone who could be very eccentric, someone who does not fill the ordinary, socially approved, socially sanctioned, socially accepted mold. No. But in all your uniqueness, in all your unconventionality, in all your differentness, you are so very much loved. Because actively you show people a better way of doing things. Different is not always bad. Different can sometimes mean better as well. And Uranian energy is almost always about collective goals, putting the collective over the individual. So I feel collective goals that are really crucial, for example, climate change, for example, zero waste movement, for example, veganism, all new age ideas are something that which you cultivate, which you foster, and you could be the point in your family which disseminates these new age ideas, new ways of looking at things, new ways of doing things, reimagining life as quite different as what it has been for, let's say, the past 50 years. You are a revolutionary leader. And unfortunately, for those who are unable to understand your intention, you may also come across as a rebel to some. But you go much deeper than that. The well being of the collective, for you, your family is the world. Animals are your family, plants are your family, so they need to be protected. And sometimes people who are only concerned with a very small circle around them find these things to be maverickish, find these things to be bizarre. The energy which has come out for you is Libra. Now, a lot of you could be literally Librans or have prominent Libra placements in your birth chart. But this is an energy which is here to seek balance in the world, to show people ways of how love is an inalienable right, respect is an inalienable right, protection of all species is an inalienable right. So you could be someone who really finds great fulfillment in advocacy, in activism for those who can't speak for themselves, and you go out and you fearlessly lend your voice to their cause. Once again, you're the go-to person for diplomacy, for mending relationships. I told you, even if you don't pay a lot of attention to your looks, to your appearance, your looks, okay, are indeed the first thing or the most permanent thing which draws attention from others to you. Okay, so you could be really aesthetically looking, you could be really pleasing, really beautiful, and this is indeed that the first thing that people perceive. And we also have Libra, which is ruled by Venus, and we have the first house. So if you don't say this to yourself enough, while one, I will say this: you don't give your looks much credit, and I do understand that, because that's just the first layer, right? There are so many layers to us as a person. But yes, you do give emphasis on grooming, and you do give emphasis on at least looking the way which brings you contentment and satisfaction. You could have a beautiful home and or a beautiful garden, and once again, that's the first thing that people notice about your dwellings. You could also have prominent Aries placement. You could have a warrior woman vibe, or someone who really places, once again, a lot of focus on empowering women, on empowering people who deserve empowerment but have not been served adequately by the society. So once again, a lot of social energy coming through, which is kind of contradictory if you see it. You're not social, but you're social. So what I'm getting is you try and conserve your energy by not giving in to small talk, which ultimately is futile and meaningless, because you're too busy thinking about what major changes can be brought into action into the wider collective stage. Yeah. A lot of you could be very intellectual geniuses, even prodigies, uh, not understood by a lot, but those who do understand you, they know from which part of the universe you come from. Okay, so this has been a beautiful reading, pile 1. Thank you for joining me till we meet again next. Bye.
Should you ever wish to schedule a personal consultation with me, I will link my website down below. Here you get an option to receive a copy of the recording of our live one-on-one session together, which you get to keep forever.
Pile 1. Thank you for joining me. This is going to be your reading. Today we're going to see how you are perceived by others and how the impressions that you want to make are similar or different to what the impressions people actually do end up making. How do people perceive pile 2? Okay. The first line which is coming is someone who has it all. The perfect job, the perfect home, the perfect family life, good looking, good intellect, good personality, someone who is literally living the fairy tale. Someone who has the perfect spouse, the perfect children, unconditional love, someone who enjoys unconditional support, a beautiful, home, car, luxury, nature, health. This is the 10 of Cups for you. So people really do perceive you as someone who has it all. Interesting. Someone who has all their emotional experiences fulfilled. While do others also perceive you as someone who is, very light-hearted as they move through life. No matter what comes, no matter with whom you come in contact with, you have this eternal bubbly nature. Okay, you could be 60 and above, but the kind of lightness which you infuse in the environments in which you circulate, the circles in which you socialize, it makes even the most direst of circumstances, look hopeful. You give a message of hope to people, if something really grim has occurred, you know what to say to them so that they can cognitively reframe the situation and discover that silver lining in the gray cloud. This is the energy which dispels any and all sorts of heaviness. Okay, so I also feel that people perceive you as the happy-go-lucky guy in their group. Someone who lives life king size. Someone who just knows how to make the best of each and every situation. And I also include, the not so happy, the not so good situations in life. uh, you know how to bounce back with wisdom, uh, in experiences of loss, in experiences of grief, and you tend to pass on that beacon of hope to others as well. I feel you also have a gift of humor, or you utilize your gift of humor to make people laugh as well. So, once again, you could be the comic of your group. You're also perceived as someone who is, old, old money, old is gold. I think your personality is a summary, is a conglomerate of all the good old values of our society. I also see someone who is, who's coming through as a gentleman or a gentlewoman, a true gentleman, someone who's really chivalrous as well, someone who knows how to act with etiquette with any age group, how to become a child with children, how to conduct oneself and be of service around ladies, how to be, gregarious in your gang of friends, and how to take care of elders as well. I'm also perceiving a lot of, innocence within you, a lot of childlike purity, a very pure way of seeing the world around you, witnessing people from a lens of goodness rather than a lens of distrust or suspicion. You are someone who believes in the goodness of people. And I also feel you are someone who truly also has had the fortune in this lifetime to see the best of both worlds, the old times as well as the new times. Someone who is respected far beyond the money that they have, because you have a richness of character, a richness of personality which goes beyond this, and you are being perceived by others as someone who's really kind. And I feel a lot of people, even if they don't intend, they end up, perceiving you as an important figure in their life, be it at workspace, be it your colleagues, be it the people who work under you, be it your own family members. Even if they don't want to, they end up making you an integral part in your life because you are so precious. This is the Six of Cups for you. Another thing that people perceive, pile 2, is that you are someone who has been really blessed with rich relationships. You literally could be living with soulmates, and I say soulmates with an S, with not one, with not two, but 3 to 4 soulmates. And once again, soulmates are not only romantic, they are also platonic. You're also perceived as a go-getter. Okay? Uh, all people need to do is tell you the objective, the goal, and you go about collecting all the resources you need, whether be it human resource, be it raw material, be it intellectual resource, be it knowing how to delegate which work to which party. All of this knowledge is within you, and you're someone who is very happy to take active initiative in getting things done. This is a manifestor. Okay, you just need to tell an idea, you just need to hint at an idea, and you go off planning, executing, implementing, thinking how that could be accomplished, no matter how small scale or big scale a project is. You could also be someone who likes to take life head on. What's the next adventure? What's the next project? What is the next thing which is to be manifested? I am here and I will make it stand. You know how to ground ideas and manifest them into a physical reality. You take inspired ideas from the divine and then you work at the ground level. This is a very grounded energy. You could work with the workers, you could work with masonry, you could work with engineers, architects, people who, with their hands make things, make solid things, basically convert ideas into solid reality. So you could have a team which works like that. You're also perceived as a very passionate individual, okay? Once again, living life king size, passionate about life, passionate about relationships. If you can live life at a scale from 0 to 10 at 10, why would you want to live at 9? Live and let live and make every moment count. So a lot of creativity, a burst of energy, motivation, passion, thirst for life is also coming through. Another thing which people perceive you is someone who, now this is a contradictory message, someone who is more complacent to making big changes in life. Okay, yes, the world is your oyster, but you really like that part of the world in which you have familiarized yourself with. So you could be someone who is the eternal planner, who will have grand plans. You know what? Once this gets complete, I will do that. Once this gets complete, I will do that. But more often than not, these plans stay as plans. So this is someone, who is a bit easygoing, a bit used to complacency when it comes to making, big decisions in life, or introducing big changes in life. You have an interest in all those things, in across the horizons, other cultures, new experiences. But you know what? I'm just fine here, so I'll just be here. That kind of energy is coming through as well. Let's check the bottom card. What did I say? We have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, once again, you are a horse of the longer run. You could also literally be or have been a horse rider or have had an association with horses. But if you look at this card, you see how gently this knight is holding the pentacle which has been entrusted onto him with all due diligence. And if you also look at the pace of the horse is also, treading very slowly, as though it's also cautious of the pentacle in the hand of the knight. So what I am getting is, you are or you could be a really dedicated employee. Okay? This is like the dream employee. An employee whom you once enroll will stay with you, will stay with your organization, will serve your ideals till the extent they're able to. Okay, like forever. And so you are also perceived as someone who's very responsible, who's very accountable, who's approachable, who has a lot of integrity, who when called upon can be very industrious, very hardworking, or at least know how to get resources together to implement a specific plan to reach a specific goal. And you also derive pleasure from this slow yet steady pace of life. You are not someone who's impressed with the fast paced, flashy side of life, getting rich overnight. No, those schemes don't impress you. For you, the age old traditional method of authentic, good, honest hard work is what works. Let's see what the astrology oracle has to say about how others perceive you. Others also sometimes are surprised by your personality, because I can see you are a force for good. You try and introduce equality where there had been none. You try and introduce better living, working conditions for all where there had been none. You believe in speaking up for those who are not given due representation. So what I have a feeling is that when your colleagues or when other people, when they perceive you, you are sometimes too good to be true. In a world like this, they are pleasantly surprised by you. They're like, wow, people like you do exist. And I also feel you motivate them into action as well. Up till meeting you, they were also very complacent. This is how the world is. But when they look at you, and when they look at you, how a charming, how a magnetic force of goodness you are in the world, they themselves, question themselves. Why am I not doing more? Aries. So your sun sign could be Aries, or you could have prominent placements in Aries. Once again, the knight in the shining armor, and we also saw the Knight of Pentacles over here. Okay, so a lot of horse related energy coming in once again. Someone who is easily enthused, someone who's easily energized, someone who's easily worked up into expending energy, expending force for a good cause. So this is a literal warrior like energy, and I just said a force for good change. I can see you literally being out there, being dynamic, being spontaneous, a crusading energy. Who is a crusader? Someone who's very courageous, someone who's very brave of treading into territories where others might be afraid of, but you never flinch from taking any leadership act. Because you understand leadership is not a one-man show. A good leader is someone who knows how to take everyone else with them and move forward. And that's exactly what you do. You could be very brave, very valorous, but I also feel you work from a strong code of conduct, strong work ethics, strong moral ethics, and that further energize you to expend more energy into your missions. Someone who derives true pleasure in being of service to someone, but in service to someone in a right, ethical, and morally astute way. Once again, since we have the Aries, you could be someone who is perceived firstly for their looks, okay? So you could have a very visually pleasing demeanor, very pleasant manners. You could be very pretty or beautiful or handsome to look at, very a very charming personality, and people tend to get impressed by that first. They perceive that aspect of your personality first. And we have the 6th house, which is ruled by Virgo. The final thing that people perceive about you while do is how much you enjoy being occupied all the time. Okay, I've already mentioned the world is your oyster. There is a different game to be played in every corner of the room. And this is a really busy energy. You could love to be preoccupied by your work. If not your work, then by your home life, of how you can contribute to home improvement. If not home improvement, you could have a dedicated exercise regimen, a workout regimen, anything which keeps you active, which gives you a sense of being productive in your day-to-day life. This is someone who likes to be concerned with the home, the hearth, the everyday work, interactions with colleagues, helping others, being in positions which offer some kind of service to the public, but basically being in constant interaction with the public. Okay, another thing which the 6th house is famous for is their sense of duty and the sense of order that they like in life. You could be someone who's very orderly, someone who really places a premium on punctuality. You could have a perfectionist of sort in you. You want everything to be in order, each and everything. You should have a predictable, well set, predetermined routine to follow, and you function the best in such an organized flow of life. Well, this has been an interesting reading for you, pile 2. I hope this has been worth your while. Until we meet again, be good. Bye.
Should you ever wish to schedule a personal consultation with me, I will link my website down below. Here you get an option to receive a copy of the recording of our live one-on-one session together, which you get to keep forever.